The first message from the Galactic Empire arrived without warning. It did not begin with greetings or peace. It did not ask questions. It was short, sharp, and full of pride. The Empire declared that humanity had been discovered, measured, and judged. According to them, Earth was weak, divided, and far behind. The message ended with a promise. If humanity did not surrender, destruction would follow. Across Earth, screens lit up. Cities stopped. Traffic froze. People stood still in homes, offices, hospitals, and streets. The voice that spoke was cold and certain. It spoke as if the future was already decided, but something unexpected happened. Humanity did not panic. In command centers across the planet, analysts listened again. Scientists replayed the transmission. Military leaders watched in silence. Then, slowly, the tension broke. Some shook their heads. Some smiled. A few even laughed quietly. The Galactic Empire had made a mistake. They assumed humanity was young and afraid. They believed humans had never faced extinction before. They thought fear would bring surrender. They did not understand that humanity had survived ice ages, plagues, world wars, and its own mistakes. They did not know that humans learned best when pushed. The Empire waited for a reply. Instead of one nation answering, all nations spoke together. Humanity's response was calm. The message was simple. Earth acknowledged the Empire's existence. Earth rejected surrender. Earth requested time to review the situation. That single line confused the Empire. No species had ever asked for time after receiving an extinction threat. The Galactic Empire ruled thousands of systems. Their fleets were ancient and powerful. Their technology could burn planets. They had crushed empires far older than humanity. Confidence was their greatest weapon. So they waited. On Earth, something else began. Satellites changed position. Shipyards that once built cargo vessels shifted designs. Old military projects were reopened. Experimental systems moved from theory to reality. Humanity did not rush. Humanity organized. The Empire sent scouts. Massive alien ships appeared at the edge of the solar system. They watched Earth from afar, scanning, recording, measuring. Their reports were clear. Human ships were small. Human weapons were crude. Human colonies were few. The Empire laughed. They sent a second message. This time, the tone was mocking. The Empire explained its fleet size, its weapons, and its victories. They listed conquered species. They described worlds turned to ash. The message ended with a final warning. 7 cycles remained before the attack. On Earth, people watched together again. This time, the laughter was louder. Not because humanity felt stronger, but because humanity recognized something familiar. Arrogance. The same arrogance that had failed again and again throughout human history. In hidden facilities, engineers tested weapons that had never been used in war, not because they were forbidden, but because they were unfinished. Now they would be finished. Artificial intelligence systems were linked across continents, not for control, but for cooperation. Every calculation was shared. Every mistake was corrected in seconds. The Empire's scouts noticed increased activity. They assumed panic. They were wrong. Humanity was not preparing to survive. Humanity was preparing to respond. On the 3rd cycle, the Empire sent a small demonstration fleet closer to Earth. Their ships were enormous, shaped like floating fortresses. They powered weapons and fired into empty space, cracking asteroids as a warning. Earth did not respond. No weapons fired. No threats returned. Instead, Earth transmitted something unexpected, a simple data packet. Inside were human history records, wars, losses, recoveries. Every time humanity had been pushed to the edge, every time humanity adapted. The Empire dismissed it as emotional noise. They did not notice the hidden layer in the transmission. While the Empire reviewed human history, human systems studied Empire technology. Shield patterns, energy cycles, communication delays. The scouts began to report strange readings. Signals bounced back in unfamiliar ways. Their sensors showed shadows that were not there before. Still, the Empire laughed. On the 5th cycle, Earth finally spoke again. The message was short. Your threat has been reviewed. That was all. No surrender, no fear, no challenge. Just confidence. For the first time in centuries, the Galactic Empire felt something strange. Not fear, not doubt. Unease. Because the species they threatened did not behave like prey. They behaved like something else. And humanity was just getting started. The Galactic Empire did not like silence. After Earth's short reply, their command councils gathered across distant star systems. massive halls filled with armored figures and glowing symbols. Ancient leaders listened as reports flowed in. Scouts confirmed it again and again. Humanity had not moved fleets forward. No planetary shields were raised. No desperate signals were sent to nearby stars. To the Empire, this behavior made no sense. Every species they had ever threatened reacted the same way. Fear first, confusion next, then surrender or chaos. Humanity showed none of it. The Empire ordered deeper scans. Their ships moved closer to Earth's outer defenses. Probes slipped past moons and asteroid belts. They listened to human communications, expecting panic. What they found instead was order, calm voices, clear plans. Civilian life continued with strange normality. On Earth, people still went to work. Children still went to school. Trains still ran. News channels discussed the Empire, but without screaming. The message was clear everywhere. Stay calm. Trust the process. Humanity had learned long ago that fear spreads faster than truth. Behind the calm surface, the planet was changing. Old factories reopened under new names. Research labs stopped publishing and started building. Engineers worked long hours, not under threat, but under purpose. This was not humanity's first enemy from the sky. It was simply the first from the stars. Military leaders met, not to argue, but to listen. No single nation led. That itself confused the Empire's observers. Humanity's strength was not unity of command, but unity of intent. The goal was simple. Do not rush. Do not reveal everything. Learn faster than the enemy expects. The Empire sent another message. This one carried authority. They accused humanity of disrespect. They demanded a formal surrender ceremony. They promised mercy to those who cooperated and extinction to those who resisted. The words were heavy with confidence. Earth replied after 6 hours. Your message was received. There will be no ceremony. The answer spread across the Empire's networks like static. No species had ever rejected tradition. The Empire's power rested not only on weapons, but on belief. Belief that resistance was pointless. Cracks began to form. Empire scientists reported strange interference near Earth. Their sensors struggled to lock onto human signals. Drones lost connection for seconds at a time. Nothing dangerous, just enough to be noticed. Humanity was watching them watch. On Earth's orbit, small human ships moved quietly. Not large warships, not threatening designs. They looked like support craft, research vessels, outdated and harmless. The Empire ignored them. That was another mistake. Inside those ships, systems tested new ideas. Shields that bent energy instead of blocking it. Engines that did not burn fuel in the old way. Weapons that were not weapons at all, but tools repurposed. Human technology had always grown from necessity. Now necessity had arrived. In the Empire's core worlds, some commanders began to question the plan. Humanity's behavior was wrong. Too calm, too measured. But centuries of victory had dulled caution. The majority believed the humans were bluffing. They increased pressure. Empire ships fired again into space near Earth, this time closer. The energy burst was powerful enough to be seen from the surface. Oceans reflected the light. Cities watched the sky glow. Still, Earth did not fire back. Instead, Earth sent a transmission to all Empire ships present. It was not a threat. It was a question. Have you considered why we are not afraid? The Empire did not answer, because they did not have one. Human analysts studied Empire reactions closely. Communication delays increased slightly. Formation patterns shifted. Small signs of confusion. Not panic, but curiosity mixed with irritation. Humanity had expected this. They knew the Empire relied on intimidation. Remove fear, and the structure weakens. Behind closed doors, final tests began. Systems came online quietly. No celebration. No announcements. Humanity did not need to feel powerful. Humanity needed to be ready. On the 6th cycle, something unexpected happened. One of the Empire's scout ships vanished. No explosion, no debris. It simply stopped transmitting. Empire commanders assumed malfunction. They sent another ship to investigate. That ship reported strange readings. Space itself seemed distorted. Signals bent away. Time delays increased. Then it vanished too. Now the Empire paid attention. They pulled ships back into defensive formations. Weapons powered up. Orders sharpened. For the first time since discovering Earth, the Empire stopped laughing. On Earth, leaders watched the same data. The first test was complete. Humanity had not attacked. They had demonstrated. And the Empire was beginning to understand that this war would not be like the others. Not at all. The Galactic Empire tightened its grip on the solar system after the loss of 2 scout ships. Their commanders no longer dismissed humanity as harmless. Fleets shifted position. Weapons stayed charged. Communication channels buzzed with orders and counterorders. Still, the Empire did not attack. They wanted certainty. They wanted to know what humanity had done. They did not like mysteries. Empire scientists examined every recording from the vanished ships. The data was incomplete, broken by strange gaps. Space appeared stretched in ways their models could not explain. This disturbed them more than destruction would have. Weapons could be measured. Unknown physics could not. The Empire decided to test humanity directly. A heavy cruiser moved forward, slow and deliberate. It stopped near the boundary where the scout ships had disappeared. Its shields were at maximum power. Its weapons were ready. The ship transmitted a demand to Earth, ordering immediate explanation. Earth did not answer right away. On the planet below, humanity watched carefully. This was the moment they had prepared for. Not with anger, not with pride. With patience, the cruiser fired a probe into the region of distorted space. The probe vanished. The cruiser fired a second probe with stronger signals. That probe vanished too. The Empire's confidence shook for the first time. An Empire ship activated emergency protocols in foreign space. Defensive formations tightened. Nearby ships moved to support the cruiser. The Empire did not retreat, but the hesitation was clear. Earth finally responded. Our space is not empty, the message said. You assumed it was. The words were simple. The meaning was not. The Empire's leaders felt insulted. They ordered the cruiser to advance. Not fast, just enough to show dominance. The ship crossed the invisible line. Nothing happened. The Empire relaxed slightly. Then the cruiser slowed. Its engines struggled. Power systems fluctuated. The ship reported resistance, as if moving through thick fluid. Space itself seemed to press against the hull. The cruiser attempted to reverse. It could not. Humanity was watching every signal, every reaction. The system was working. Not perfectly, but well enough. Earth transmitted again. You are inside a controlled field. It limits movement, energy flow, and communication. It is not a weapon. The Empire did not believe that. They fired. The cruiser launched a focused energy blast toward Earth. The beam entered the field and bent. It curved away, breaking apart in the harmless light before fading into space. Silence followed. The Empire had fired a planet-killing weapon. It had done nothing. Across the Empire's fleets, shock spread. Weapons that defined their power had failed. Shields that had never been breached were suddenly meaningless in the wrong environment. The cruiser attempted one last action. It self-destructed, or tried to. The command failed. The field prevented it. The ship was trapped. Earth's final message reached the cruiser's crew. You are safe. You will not be harmed, but you will remain where you are. This was worse than destruction. The Empire's greatest strength had always been fear. Now fear belonged to them. The Empire pulled back its fleet slightly. Not a retreat, but a repositioning. They needed time. They needed answers. Humanity gave them neither. On Earth, celebrations did not happen. There were no speeches. No flags waved. This was not victory. It was proof. Humanity had not built a stronger weapon. Humanity had changed the rules. The controlled field was not everywhere. It was limited. It took immense energy and careful placement. Humanity could not cover the galaxy with it. But they did not need to. They only needed to show that the Empire's assumptions were wrong. In the Empire's inner councils, bold leaders argued. Some demanded immediate full invasion. Others urged caution. Never before had an enemy neutralized their advantage without firing a shot. The Empire chose pressure. They cut all communication with Earth. No messages, no threats, no responses. They believed silence would restore fear. They were wrong again. Humanity did not fear isolation. Humanity used it, with the Empire watching from a distance. Human ships continued their quiet movement. More fields came online in strategic locations, not to trap fleets. To guide them, the Empire noticed something else. Human ships were learning. Each encounter, each scan, each movement improved their efficiency. The humans adapted faster than expected, faster than comfortable. The Empire finally understood the truth. Humanity was not trying to win quickly. Humanity was studying them. And when the Galactic Empire realized that, the balance of the war began to shift. The Galactic Empire changed its strategy. Fear had failed. Silence had failed. Now they chose force from distant systems. The Empire summoned a full battle fleet. Hundreds of warships moved together, dark shapes against the stars. This was not a demonstration. This was the kind of power that had ended civilizations. The order was clear. Crush Earth quickly. Restore dominance. The fleet advanced toward the solar system in perfect formation on Earth. Humanity did not panic. Sensors tracked the fleet long before it arrived. Every ship, every energy signature, every pattern was logged. Artificial intelligence systems compared this data to centuries of human conflict. Predictions formed. Weak points emerged. Human leaders spoke once. The instruction was simple. Proceed. Human fleets moved. For the first time, the Galactic Empire saw Earth's true response. Ships emerged from hidden positions near planets, moons, and empty space. They were not massive. They were not impressive in size. But they moved with purpose and precision. The Empire laughed again. Briefly, then the first human ship entered the controlled field. The Empire fleet fired immediately. Thousands of weapons activated at once. Energy beams, kinetic projectiles, and destructive waves filled space. It should have been overwhelming. It was not. The attacks bent, slowed, and dissolved as they entered the field. Some never reached their targets. Others lost power before impact. Human ships moved through the chaos untouched. The Empire responded with brute force. They pushed forward, believing mass would overpower control. Warships forced their way into the field, engines roaring. Some ships made progress, then they stopped. Their formations broke. Ships collided. Commands arrived too late. Communication delays grew longer. The field did not destroy. It confused, separated, and restrained. Humanity advanced. Not in a charge. In a measured approach, human ships targeted Empire systems, not hulls. They disrupted sensors, jammed communications, redirected energy flows. Empire ships began to lose awareness of each other for the first time in centuries. Empire captains fought blind. Earth transmitted a single message to the fleet. This does not need to continue. The Empire refused to answer. They attempted something desperate. A group of warships overloaded their weapons, planning to flood the area with uncontrolled energy. It was reckless. It had worked before against desperate enemies. The field absorbed it. The energy vanished, spread harmlessly through the controlled space. The Empire's confidence collapsed. What they faced was not a stronger shield. It was a smarter environment. Human ships began extracting Empire vessels from the field, not destroying them, pulling them out one by one, disabling them, securing them. The Empire did not understand why they were being spared. Some commanders called it weakness. They were wrong. Humanity was sending a message. This war would not be about annihilation. It would be about control. As more Empire ships fell silent, panic spread through their ranks. Orders conflicted. Retreats overlapped. Discipline broke. The remaining Empire ships fled the solar system, not in defeat. In disbelief. Earth did not pursue. The control fields powered down slowly. Human ships returned to orbit and stations. The system remained intact. No cities burned. No planets cracked. Humanity had survived its first full battle with the Galactic Empire and had lost nothing. Across the galaxy, the news spread fast. Species under Empire control whispered of hope. Some began to question their rulers openly. The Galactic Empire had not been beaten, but it had been exposed, and now everyone was watching what humanity would do next. The Galactic Empire did not recover easily. The retreat from the solar system was not called a defeat, but everyone knew the truth. Entire fleets had been disabled without destruction. Empire ships had been taken apart, studied, and returned with their crews unharmed. No enemy had ever done this. The Empire's image cracked. Across occupied systems, rulers demanded explanations. Generals blamed scientists. Scientists blamed old assumptions. The idea that the Empire was unstoppable no longer felt solid. Humanity did not rush to take advantage. Instead, Earth sent messages, not threats, not demands. Information. Humanity transmitted recordings of the battle, unedited, clear. They showed Empire weapons failing, fleets losing control, ships being disabled safely. They sent explanations of the controlled field, not the full design, but enough to prove it was real. The message was simple. We do not seek conquest. We seek balance. This confused the galaxy. The Empire had always ruled through fear. Humanity spoke of restraint. Many species did not trust it. Some believed it was a trick. Others saw something different. Choice. The Galactic Empire responded with anger. They declared humanity an illegal power. They banned all contact. They threatened any system that spoke with Earth. Old methods, old rules. But the galaxy had changed. Trade routes slowed. Border systems hesitated. Some empire worlds quietly stopped sending resources. The idea that the empire could protect them no longer felt certain. Humanity noticed. Instead of pushing outward, they waited. Behind the scenes, human technology evolved faster than ever. The controlled fields became more efficient, smaller, easier to deploy. Human ships adapted empire designs, not to copy, but to improve. The empire launched raids, small attacks on human outposts and ships. Quick strikes meant to restore fear. Some caused damage. A few human ships were lost. Earth did not hide this. Humanity shared the losses openly. We are not invincible, their message said. But neither are you. That honesty spread faster than fear. Empire commanders grew desperate. They needed a victory, something clear and final. They chose a human colony, far from Earth, lightly defended, civilian. The attack was brutal. Empire ships bombarded the colony from orbit. Buildings fell. People died. Survivors fled into shelters and space. The Empire broadcast the destruction across the galaxy. They expected terror. Humanity responded with silence. For one full cycle, Earth said nothing. The galaxy held its breath. Then humanity acted. Human fleets did not attack Empire worlds. They attacked Empire systems, key junctions, communication hubs, energy relays, trade routes. Using controlled fields, they isolated entire regions without firing weapons. Empire worlds woke up cut off from command. Panic spread. Humanity sent one message to those systems. We will not harm you, but your empire cannot reach you. For the first time, empire control truly broke. Species under empire rule realized they were not prisoners of force. They were prisoners of fear, and fear was fading. The Galactic Empire faced a choice: escalate into total war, or admit that humanity had changed the rules forever. The Empire had never faced such a decision before, and it did not know how to make it. The Galactic Empire chose escalation. Unable to regain control through fear or isolation, they turned inward. Ancient protocols were activated. Forbidden technologies were removed from sealed vaults. Weapons designed for extinction, not war, were prepared. The Empire would end humanity in one final strike. Their plan was simple: a massive energy cascade released through hyperspace aimed directly at Earth. It would bypass controlled fields, shields, and fleets. The planet would be erased before humanity could react. The Empire had used this weapon only once before. The species it was used on no longer existed. Empire fleets gathered far from human space. The device was assembled piece by piece. Power levels rose beyond anything seen before. Confidence returned to the Empire's command. This time, humanity would not laugh. But humanity had been watching. Human intelligence networks detected unusual energy patterns weeks before the weapon was ready. Human scientists did not know exactly what the Empire was building, but they knew one thing: it was meant to end everything. Humanity did not evacuate Earth. They did not beg. They prepared one last response. The controlled fields had always been defensive. Now, humanity adjusted them, not to block energy, but to redirect it. Instead of stopping force, they shaped it. Human fleets positioned themselves between the Empire and Earth, not in attack formations, in listening formations. The Empire fired. The energy cascade tore through hyperspace like a wound. Stars dimmed along its path. Sensors across the galaxy screamed warnings. The weapon reached human space and vanished. Not destroyed, redirected. The energy was bent, divided, and spread through thousands of controlled fields. It flowed away from Earth, away from human colonies, away from life. The redirected force slammed into empty regions of space, tearing nothing apart. The Empire watched in horror. Their final weapon had failed. Worse, it had proven that humanity understood it. Earth transmitted one final message to the Empire's core systems. We told you this was unnecessary. The message carried no anger, no triumph, only certainty. Empire command collapsed. Leaders argued, shouted, blamed. Fleets stood idle, unsure of orders. The weapon that defined their dominance was gone. For the first time in its long history, the Galactic Empire had no advantage left. Humanity did not attack. They waited, because now, the choice belonged to the Empire. Continue a war they could not win, or accept a future they could not control. And the galaxy waited with them. The Galactic Empire went silent. Not the silence of strategy, not the silence of threat. This was different. It was the silence of something old realizing it could no longer force the universe to obey. Across their core systems, fleets remained idle. Command halls that once echoed with certainty now stood quiet. Orders were delayed, then canceled, then never sent. For the first time in its history, the Empire requested communication. Not a demand, a request. Earth answered immediately. The Empire's message was careful, formal, stripped of pride. They acknowledged humanity's actions. They admitted the failure of their final weapon. They did not apologize, but they did not threaten either. They asked a question no Empire ruler had ever asked an enemy. What do you want? Humanity's reply was simple. We want you to stop. The words carried weight. Human representatives explained calmly. Humanity did not want territory, did not want tribute, did not want the Empire's collapse. They wanted an end to forced rule, an end to destruction as policy, an end to fear as control. The Empire struggled to understand. Power, to them, had always meant dominance. Humanity described power as responsibility. Negotiations began, not in secret chambers, not behind closed doors. Humanity insisted that talks be broadcast openly across the galaxy. Every word, every condition, no manipulation, no hidden clauses. This shocked everyone. Species under Empire rule watched as their rulers were questioned publicly. For the first time, they heard alternatives spoken aloud. They saw that the Empire could be challenged without annihilation. The terms were clear. The Empire would withdraw its fleets from occupied systems. Controlled fields would ensure compliance without violence. Worlds would be allowed self-governance. Trade would be voluntary. Defense would be shared, not enforced. The Empire resisted at first. Then reports arrived. More systems were declaring independence, not through rebellion, through refusal. Empire orders were ignored, taxes unpaid, fleets denied entry. Fear was gone. The Empire had lost its grip. With no weapon left to force obedience, the Empire agreed. The Galactic Empire signed the accord. No celebrations followed. Humanity did not declare victory. Instead, something quieter happened. Human ships helped stabilize damaged worlds. Human engineers repaired infrastructure the Empire had neglected. Medical teams arrived where once warships had stood. The galaxy watched carefully, waiting for the trap. There was none. Years passed. The Galactic Empire still existed, but smaller, limited. Bound by agreements it could no longer break without consequence. Its leaders became administrators instead of conquerors. Humanity returned its fleets home. The controlled fields remained, inactive but present. A reminder, not a threat. In time, the galaxy began to change. Former Empire species traded freely, shared knowledge, formed councils. Humanity did not lead them. Humanity joined them, and history recorded the moment clearly. The Galactic Empire had threatened humanity with destruction. Humanity had laughed, not because they were cruel, not because they were arrogant, but because humanity understood something the Empire never had. True power was not the ability to destroy. It was the ability to stop and choose not to.